the end goal right here. There's a lot going on. We're gonna dive headfirst right into it. Look, let's talk distraction, okay? Distractions out there. Fauci. Fauci is just a distraction, I'm telling you. What he done is despicable, the worst thing ever. There's no thing worse I can think of than anyone done than what Fauci done. Alright? But why is, listen to this, Fauci may get 6 months in prison, right? But that boy from, what was it, Houston, that killed the other boy in that track and field event, 32 years, right? Fauci, 6 months for for the pandemic. Fauci, he's the pandemic guy. All those lost lives. The boy who killed the other track star with a knife, 35 years. Fauci, maybe 6 months. I find that so disrespectful, to be honest. So disrespectful. Nah, Fauci, he's one of them, like, mastermind minds that evil villain type. The evil villain, you only giving 6 months in probably the cushiest situation. But let alone that, I notice so much stuff that is actually taking place while all that Fauci distraction is going on. Look at this. You saw what happened in Spain, right? You saw what happened during the Biden administration, right? You saw the amount of fraud in Minneapolis, right? You see all the fraud cases in Cali, right? You see the craziness in New York, Michigan. There's a lot at stake. A lot more than we can just ignore, alright? Look at this. My arrow, my drawings is kind of bad, but we see what's happening, bro. We see, okay? Why I say there's 2 types of people left. It's not black, it's not white, it's not Latino, it's not Arab, it's not gay, it's not straight, it's not white Christian nationalist, or it's not none of that. Okay? This is us. We is all one. But there's 2 types of people. Ones that are more for robbing us, and ones more for defending this. Okay? Do we want to defend the money that the resources our country has, or do we want to allow from all sides the greatest robbery ever, the greatest heist ever, okay? This is what's at stake. Look at the patterns. This brings us to Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. 2 people, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Biden administration, right? There has been huge amounts of fraud allowed, right? Huge amounts. We talking like in the 500 billion annually fraud amount was kind of allowed when the president was asleep, right? We're talking about in cases of 500 billion annually. All right? Fraud. Now, black people, you've been one thing, reparations, right? Imagine if all that shit wasn't going on. That's 500 billion annually in fraud and just taken from the American resources. 500 billion annually in fraud. What if none of that fraud existed? What if none of it got taken every year? We're talking 500 billion. What if it just went to actual black people who was already here and helping their lives? We got some people entering the building. There's actually a lot. We're actually doing really good. Oh my god, Kanye. I love it. It's like this. Kanye West, he's crazy, right? Me, I'm crazy, right? Kanye West speaks off the cuff, right? And rants on and on, right? Me, I speak off the cuff, right? And rant on and on, right? Kanye West, black, right? Me, black, right? I don't know. This person's on to something. What are you talking about? You just got, so it's like, look, this is what I notice is going on, right? There's the amounts of fraud cases out there that we're just ignoring, and it's that basically during Biden and Kamala administration, we're talking about numbers in like 500 billion annually in fraud cases. We're talking Tim Walz was her second choice to be in power. Look at what Tim Walz allowed just in his own state, bro. Look, bro, stop. I hate you. You're beginning to the bro. Stop. I hate you're being mean to white. I'm being mean to white. How am I being mean to white? Give me 5 reasons, bro. How? Who have I disrespected that's white just because they're white? Who? Name 5 people, bro. I'm waiting. Exactly, so shut the fuck up. It's like this. When I say Kamala Harris, she's definitely not white. Alright? Tim Walz was her pick, right? Look what Tim Walz allowed, bro. That's just in his state. Imagine if they got to the national level, how much they could really take. Look, Elon Omar, another one. These people have an end goal, alright? So Fauci and all his nonsense, right? That shit is terrible bad. And I compared Fauci's sentence 6 months, right? Compared to that boy who knifed the kid in Houston 35 years, right? Fauci basically killed people all around the world. That boy killed one person. 35 years, Fauci 6 months. The whole Fauci case is disrespectful in many different ways, but it's gonna be the top story in our face. That's why I view Fauci as a distraction. This is the real shit that's going on, okay? This is the real shit. There's such a bigger picture going on that it's the Democratic Party doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist. It's the Rob America Party now. They might as well change the name of the Democratic Party to the Rob America Party. Rob the Programs Party. Rob the Black People's Program. Okay? We talking 500 annually fraudulent cases a year. $500, 500 billion. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 500 billion in fraud a year. That's enough. That if it just went to the black community right there, that's enough. That would have us good, you know, where we would be living more than comfortable. But instead, we allowing ourselves to be robbed. Why? One reason, another thing that's going on. Mandomi. What the thing with Mandomi is like New York is so desperate to prove that they are the least racist community, right? That they will allow a, you know what he is, bro. You know, like, they will allow that shit instead of just calling it what it is. Like, they think nobody can possibly be bad, and that, and they willing to trust and he's thinking, nah, I'm gonna take full advantage of this shit. He's like, I'm gonna take full advantage of this shit. Yeah, they actually are trusting me, trying to prove non-racist. Well, I don't even care none about that shit. Iranian daddy, Iranian daddy. Oh man, you're not gonna believe this. So we're gonna cancel air conditionings on the hottest day. How's that sound? New York City. Yeah, I'm gonna say it with a smile on my face. That's gonna make it okay. Hold on, one more second. My daddy's calling me. This is what we allowing, bro. The Iranian daddy on the phone. Constant talks to the guy in control of the most powerful city. Like, it's chaos. Name 5 laws that is actually a lot of promises and promises of free stuff, free everything. Why not free everything for everybody? That's not realistic. Let's be honest. That's not free everything for everybody is not realistic. Nothing's free in this world, okay? And if you think so, you're wrong. Nothing's free in this world. There's no free everything. Everything comes at a cost. The cost is this guy gets to dictate everything, anything. The No King protesters, they got their king now, okay? Mandomi's their king, okay? They got their king, okay? The No King protesters picked a king. And another thing you have to look at, not just Mandomi, but other politicians. I feel just like how you noticed, not even just politicians, but influencers as well. People you may have followed, right? In the past, they might have been grassroots, really believed in what they was doing and been doing the right thing until they got so popular that these robbers over here who had end goal was to rob this nation, they bought and paid for someone you looked up to, someone you followed online, someone who got up here, ranted and raved, just like me, someone who done this shit. They get to be the puppet on what way that someone you followed now leads you. So you gotta realize when to snip it and detach yourself from certain people that you follow. It's called basically like a false prophet, bro. You following false prophets. Remember that. In biblical terms, you following false prophets, okay? Remember, that's supposed to be at the end time. A lot of false prophets. Where we at, bro? There's a lot of false prophets. People you begin following, right? And they have all good intent, until they get bought. They're what they say isn't what they used to say. Obama, what they say isn't what they used to say. Obama, these people's views got bought. Tucker Carlson, these people's views got bought. There's lots like that. Think of the craziness in the different things liberals believe now from before they liberals believed their views was more MAGA. I want to say Obama's views was more MAGA. It was like the blueprint for MAGA. Now liberals believe it's just there's a side of more on the giant side of the robbery and more on protecting what us from the robbery. We have no choice. We are at the crossroads. This is it, the line in the sand. Who are you gonna trust? Who you've been told to vote for one way for forever, since you've been told that to vote one way forever. It's like it makes it that much easier for them to use you. They're gonna use you to get to the ultimate jackpot. It makes it that much easier. They know you's on board. They know it. Even though stealing this will get rid of all the programs and everything and cause a lot of vulnerability and chaos, kind of like what's going on in what happened in Spain. This is the end goal. They want to take this. 500 plus billion annually. Annually means every year in fraud cases. Like, where are you from? If you're in the chat, you want to put what city you's from. Because think 500 billion. Imagine if a fraction of that went into your community. Like, even just for certain races, not even if it didn't reparation, which I would love, but it's like, to be honest, we've been waiting for that. But what if they just helped our communities? Use that 500 billion that annually gets taken from fraud. What that's like in it's like 20 it's like, it's like 30 billion in like 6 years, bro. It's getting up there. What if that went to our communities? Instead, we're allowing it to get taken over an allegiance to a party who's definitely looking the other way when all this fraud is happening. They're definitely looking the other way. Who's the leading Democratic candidate, right? AOC, right? She's the leading. Why don't she call out the Minnesota lady? Why don't she say, yeah, what's going on with that Minneapolis lady, Elon Omar, what her people is involved in? Why don't she use her big mouth to call that shit out? Even though they own the same party, right? How can you ignore something like a Leering Center where they rob fake autistic schools, even if they on your political side? If you don't call that shit out, you more in favor of getting complete dominance and democratic power than caring about a crime where they use fake autistic schools to rob their community of Minneapolis. You think what she's doing is basically okay, and feel they're getting rich off of the backs of our tax dollars and stealing from our programs. This represents our programs. We are one of the few countries that has programs. That's why where immigration comes to. They come here because they know they want to get a hold of the programs, bro. They know it's like not even a question. So yeah, we are have been allowing a giant robbery, bro. So I'm tired of seeing my people broke. I'm tired of seeing my people poor. At the same time, we allowing 500 billion a year in fraud cases, bro. Like, for 500 billion a year, bro. That's a lot. Why don't they? We know what side is calling it out. At least we know what side is calling it out. Some side, if you ignore it, you part of the problem. If they robbing this, they robbing you. They robbing your family. They taking off the plate of your children. Okay? Once this is completely robbed, right? What do we got? Once this is completely gone, you can't say, what about my food stamps? You can't. You can't even say, we was mad at high gasoline, inflation. There's going to be bigger problems the more we allow bigger robbery. You understand? This is just the beginning of it. They have yet to get complete control. They had control for a small fraction of a time during Biden Harris. We saw a preview. There's a reason Trump won every swing state. People, I worked at a grocery store. I got tired of seeing grown men coming in week after week crying in tears when they had to decide between certain things or getting gasoline. They would cry, okay? Over prices, okay? Over what decision they should make and the heat they're getting on their back. They can see divorce coming, right? They can see it. They're like, there's a lot of pressure on them to make the right decision, and things are costing more and more. It felt like it was never ending inflation. Everything was stuck high. Trump, yeah, he is more man-made inflation with it's more just man-made, but there is those points where it goes down and gas is cheap and things like that. He had it down for a little bit until he decided to do the war. But then it's like, at least he is capable of getting it down. Biden, it was stuck. It was stuck, okay? Basically, the whole 4 years, it was stuck. There's a reason that side lost. And not only was it stuck, they was looking the other way. Wow. This was lining up for the big money grab, okay? And you see it more and more. You see, it's not normal. It's not normal for a mayor to be on the phone. Iranian daddy. Iranian daddy. Oh, papa. He got Iranian daddy on the phone, bro. You think Iranian daddy wouldn't want the vast wealth? Look, man, there's a lot going on. I'm not trying to scare nobody, right? But I just see things different. I see Dr. Fauci and all his nonsense. It's like he definitely should be put away and never see the light of day. And they shouldn't even waste time on a trial. It should be instant. That guy, it should be instant. Stop wasting our time with that. Just make it instant, okay? Make it instant. Lock him up. Throw away the key. No trial. People know what happened, okay? We're not blind. We saw what he did, okay? He needs to go get put away. End that shit so we can focus on solving the everyday problems. Stop that Dr. Fauci trial because it looks like it's such a famous trial going on. It's gonna waste time, waste what's what we can really do to help people, to help you, and you, because what happened with Fauci, we just gotta get out of the way, or it's gonna take up too much time. Too much time. There's too much at stake, you know. There's too much craziness. Too much looking the other way. When you see the what is it? They honor like the parents of the angel moms and stuff, the ones that lost their the daughters to the worst of the worst type of crime from people who came in. It's like, what side? It's like, didn't stand up and they didn't care. They're focused on their main goal, complete power, and that is a part of the strategy. As long as that's part of the strategy, right? When they hear about the the deaths and the essays and shit that could have been that were preventable, and if their policies didn't allow a killer to come through, it's like they'll allow that killer to come through because that's part of the strategy. They'll look the other way at the little girl who get killed because that little girl they get killed. They're not. They can't. They're not even gonna give the mother of that girl, you know, any type of recognition. Not even for their loss in one of the worst ways, because their strategy is too important. They're not going to change none of their policies to prevent that from happening the next time because they're already bought. They're already a puppet. They're already collecting paychecks of foreign entities that want them to do a certain robbery. They're on board with it. They're already on board. They're here on a mission. Our politicians are here on a mission, not for us. They are part of something bigger scheme. I'm telling you, bro. I see it. I see different. I see Dr. Fauci as a distraction. I think they should lock him up right away. Throw away the keys. I don't care if you chop his head off on. Well, anyway, lock him up. Throw away the keys. End it. Do not waste time on that trial. End it. Lock him up. That's it. Don't let him out. Focus on making sure the American people are okay. Making sure our communities are okay. Making sure there's no preventable type of shit that goes on. Up here, New York City, where the No King protesters crown their king, right? No King protesters crown their king in New York City. That boy can do whatever he wants. He can. It's okay. We're not racist, and we're gonna prove it by electing a terrorist. This is what you don't want to call a spade a spade. You don't want to call a spade in New York City. That's what it is. See, we got a saying here called facts, bro. Facts, bro, is Iranian Daddy. Iranian Daddy. He got Iranian Papa on the phone. Okay? So it's like, I don't want to hear, oh, he's one of the good ones. Keep funding Hamas if that's what you believe, okay? Because these people, they're taking your funds and planning some wild shit, okay? They, why would you do certain things? Stop with the funds, okay? Stop with any of the funds. Focus on your own family. Stop with any of the weird funds, okay? Stop with the funding, the different. There was a study that says liberals have never committed any crime ever, ever, ever. Both sides commit political crime, okay? You don't need no study to know that when a regular dude's Tesla gets burnt, scratched up, so he can't even get to work to feed his family, that's political crime right there. That's liberal political crime. You don't need to do a study to know that as long as Antifa, domestic terrorist political group for the left, is running around. So CNN, take your study, okay? Take your study, okay? About domestic terror and what groups fund it, saying, "Oh, liberals can't do that. Democrats never been about political violence." Take that study, turn it sideways, right? Turn the study sideways, right? Shine it up real nice, okay? And stick it straight up your ass, okay? Because I don't believe it. How many of your studies got to end up being proven wrong a few months later? How many of your studies are just sound so stupid? Black people can't get IDs. So black people can't get IDs. Is that another one of your studies? Stop with the studies, okay? Stop. This shit is retarded. It's awful. You actually really think because you'll want to say that a study says something? Where are you on the scoreboard, right? These studies, there's a scoreboard, right? How many of them have been proven wrong later on? And how many of them have really been true? That's what we need to ask, okay? Because a lot of your studies are shit. I'm tired of hearing it. Black people can get IDs, okay? And your studies think that they can't, okay? That's a fake story. It's a fake story. And it ain't even about us when you say black. So stop lying through your teeth, okay? We see a manipulator. It's a party. When for a liberal candidate, they find the best manipulator. They find the best manipulator. Less standing on principle, more better at manipulation. Gavin Newsom, definitely a used car salesman, great manipulator, has the look of the slick back hair, the Hollywood kind of smile. They all are great smiling people like Mandomi, where they get as such manipulators. They do it with a smile, and they can tell you to turn off the air conditioning on the hottest day with a smile on their face. It's good for you. They'll deliver the worst news in their manipulating way and tell you it's good for you. This shit ain't good. Look just what happened in Europe when they turned off the air conditioning. So why would you take anything from that shit and think it's actually good? Nah, you's being controlled. Iranian daddy said maybe you should try that. Stop. You's being controlled, okay? You're false prophets. Nothing about you guys are righteous. I'm gonna put that out there. Nothing. Nada. I hate to say it. You're being duped. And it's like because y'all love living in a lawless society, you're gonna allow something like this in the end. Where the little laws that that they're allowing you to live free things. It's just to obtain power. You're being used by. That's why they pick candidates that are great at manipulating. How many say I stood there from the beginning? This is where I stand, and that's that. Nah, you're gonna hear little switches, little changes as we go, of what they believe. There's different groups always gonna be added on. Different groups always gonna be placed ahead of black people. This is their end goal, bro. They want to get it all. We have to know. This is another thing. When you see these people, these political heads on there, who's real and who's fake? Who can you trust? Say to yourself, can I trust that person? 100%. And if not, where's the top percentage I can trust that person? This is a same group that will support a known Nazi tattooed guy. He's got a Nazi tattoo in Maine. They support him. Even they're more concerned about complete dominance and power. No one, even they'll support a Nazi if it means getting dominance and power. That shit is sick. That shit is sick. Okay? You have to look. Why are they so driven? Anything for power, including supporting a Nazi for power. If it don't end in devour. They want to take this, okay? They after something big. Any black people in the chats? Any black people? Maybe we are at a point where we have to decide. Growing up Democrat, right? It's impossible. It's very hard to trust people, the Republicans, who talk down to you, who say racist things to you, right? But at the same time, these are people who do care about America. They do. They don't care about you, Ninja, but they do care about America. And you are a part of America. That African American in your name makes it something that makes you part of America. These people, the Republican white ninjas, they care about America. No, they don't care about you, Ninja, but you have the Americanized name, okay? African American is part of America. As long as they care about America, there's a tiny fraction of care for you, okay? Where you are needed, okay? You are needed. But it's like this. The rest of them, they're needed too, but only the ones that aren't set out to do the great heist. Would you vote for? See, Home Alone, I like to refer to Home Alone, the Christmas movie. Would you vote for the two bad guys that tried to rob the house? if Macaulay Culkin was not home to protect the house. Macaulay Culkin represents the white Republicans guys, and then those guys that are the robbers. They kind of look like pirates. Yeah, they got that pirate vibe. Anyway, you gotta know what's going on. There's a lot going on. Fauci distraction. Lock them up, throw away the keys, I don't care, but end it. Because you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay focused. Yeah, my comparison to Kanye is we both crazy, we both black, we both rant, we both speak off the cuff. We don't know what we're gonna say before it's already out there. Yeah, it's like that. Kanye West. Holy shit. You're not gonna believe this, guys. You is not gonna believe this. We was just talking about Kanye West, right? We was just talking about him. I got the ninja on the phone. Hold on. Just give me a second, people. I got Kanye on the phone. So Jesus. Jesus Almighty. I can't believe it's you. Oh my God. Yeah, I bought that holy shirt you put out. I bought that holy shirt. And I paid at least 10 grand for that shirt with the bullet holes in it. That was a little dusty, a little dirty. But you know what, Kanye? It it's a Yeezus brand, so of course I had to. Yeah, that car I worked hard to get. I sold it, Kanye. I know I liked it, but I had to sell my car, Kanye. Why? Because your shirt was too damn expensive and I wanted to buy it. I wanted to have the name brand Yeezy. And so I sold my car to buy that dusty old shirt with the bullet holes in it. And it was just a white plain shirt with already holes in it to give me that cool vibe. But yeah, Kanye. I love it. I love it. So when people see me, they say, he's got the Yeezys on. He's got the Yeezys on. I love hearing that, Kanye. I love hearing he's got the Yeezys on. Better than actually driving a car around. Yeah, I'm walking to work now. Through the rain, through the snow, through the dirt, through the pain. I got not much to gain. I got Easy on the phone. Hey, Easy, give me a saying, give me a verse. You know what? We coming from the hurt. But you know what? We're not gonna allow ourselves to end up in the hearse. You know what? We've got politicians getting pulled by strings. So much money they trying to take. We trying to keep the programs. But you know what? A lot on the line. So descend before you become another victim, another statistically. You know what? They trying to hurt me, harm me. But you know what? For once I was blind. But now I see. Easy, Kanye, Yeezy. We gonna hit you with a freestyle live. We gonna do it time after time. You know what? I'm always set out to rhyme. You know what? You trying to steal my dime, but you know what? I be doing my thing. You know what? It's the news that I bring. I'm a different type of a reporter. I report the news. They're trying to steal gold. They're trying to steal programs. They're trying to steal funds from our community. You know what? Give to the community. You know what? Give to the community. You know what? Stop giving people murderous essay people like Tim Waltz gave that wrong type of guy immunity. Look, people need to just start protecting victims, not the opposite. You know what? Protect the victims, okay? It's like that. Make it easy for women to be able to walk to work freely without being harmed. Am I asking for too much for that, Kanye? What? Yeah, I agree, Kanye. Kim Kardashian's got the most perfect butt of all time. It's such perfect. Yeah, Kanye, you're right. How many people in the comment section, Kanye wants to know this, agree that Kim Kardashian has the perfect butt of all time? Kanye, yeah, they agree too. But Kanye, before we go, I just want to say, Ray J hit it first, Ninja. Ray J hit it first. I told him and I hung up. So Kanye gotta remember that Ray J hit his woman first. He hit it, 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 he hit it. He hit it first, he hit it first, he hit it first. Yeah, that kinda is what made Kanye crazy, I think. Knowing full well Ray J hit that woman first. He hit her first. She never really got over him either. And then a lot going on. How many times we gonna see the same old song where our politicians take advantage of the black vote? Stop. Stop saying, what about black people? What about black people? What about black people? Black people can get an ID. To say they can't, use racist. If you think black people can't get an ID, I'm sorry. So stop saying one side is racist. If you support a Nazi on your side and you're saying black people can't get an ID on your side, you have no room to talk about saying another side is racist. When I say, y'all both racist, okay? So we're gonna pretend so it's like you're both a racist. You can't use the other side as racist now. You know that. When you're saying I'm too dumb to get an ID and you actively support a Nazi, you lose the right to say the other side is racist, don't vote for him. You can't be racist and say don't vote for a racist. So what? You want me to not vote for a racist, right? Well, then I won't vote for you because you're racist. You know how dumb you sound? And at the same time, you say black people can't get an ID. Look at Mandomi wants only IDs for his super grocery store, which puts all the other grocery stores out of business. Puts all the bodegas out of business. But you gotta, you know, you need that 30% off discount. Just give me your ID. So you trust him with any information? The same guy who will take your house and dox it, making you a target? You trust that shit? Don't give him your information, okay? He'll make you a target if you ever are against him. If things don't go right and one day you're against him, now he got your information and he'll dox you, making you a target. There's a lot going on. You have to be able to steer clear of the craziness. Start supporting those bodegas, okay? Start supporting the Italian restaurants, okay? Because he be vicious to the Italian community, trying to cancel Little Italy. He be vicious to the Jewish community, right? He'd be vicious to a lot of communities. There's something wrong with Mandomi. He's sent here on a mission. He's sent here on a mission to cause division. When you're divided, you're conquered. There's a lot at stake. So this is the chance. There's a lot at stake. Before the grand robbery takes place, we need to have the robbers put on the brakes. Okay? So much going on. And to say I'm wrong is to say the Somalians took nothing. Nothing happened over there. They didn't take nothing. The Somalians took nothing. There was nothing going on over there. It's all okay. That Leering Center story was fake. Nothing happened. They're not actually trying to steal. You think they would stop at that? You think just that was something? It happened, but it was small. No. They will keep going and keep taking. They got politicians in there creating laws to make it easier to take the whole thing. The whole kit and caboodle. That was a split time it took to take a large amount. More than you ever made in a living, probably. More than most in your family ever made in a living. They took that shit. They took a large amount, okay? Imagine if that went to your community. For like millions of dollars, bro. Imagine 500 plus billion a year in fraud. Imagine if that went to your community. We allowing too much in the name of protecting the Democratic Party. We allowing way too much in the name of protecting Democratic Party. You have to look. Your survival instinct has to kick in whatever's left of it. Okay? You have to know when something is being coming in to hijack the party that you believe religiously. They're using your loyalty to the party to hijack it to help the thieves. They're hijacking the party that you are loyal to help the thieves. To help the sticky bandits, the wet bandits from Home Alone. You're on the side of helping the people robbing the house in Home Alone. So we need Macaulay Culkin to save us. Okay? So when they vote the Save Act means we're giving Macaulay Culkin all the ammo he needs to keep people from robbing the house, okay? Macaulay Culkin is that damn important. It's like that.